I thought I was a Christian. I got saved in 2000. I've had my mother living with me for 40 years.
40 years?
Yes.
Your mother living with you?
I've told her this. Look, you're in my house on my good graces. I can put you in assisted living at any moment. The decision is yours.
Joyce said he said to his mother, "Tell me you love me." She wanted to say it. George, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. I think I told your guy that answered the phone that, I thought I was a Christian. I got saved in 2000. I've had my mother living with me for 40 years.
40 years?
Yes.
Your mother living with you?
Yep.
Why?
All my life, I thought I was doing the right thing. I grew up in a rough family. Things were rough. And I wanted to escape the insanity of what was going on there. And I ended up taking one of my brothers and my mom back in the 70s away from my dad.
So you
I
took
still
your
have my mom.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I still got her living with me.
So you became her husband?
Yes, I did.
So you took your mother away from her husband and you became the husband. Why'd you do that?
At the time, I thought I was doing the best thing. I now realize it was wrong.
And why did your mother allow you to do that?
I've been watching you for a month now, so I know all the reasons why. She turned me against him. I know my grandparents did that to her. I understand all the logical reasons why.
Yeah.
I've been watching you for a month. God revealed it all to me. I went through PTSD for about a year from all the abuse I went through as a kid, because there was 10 or 15 years of horrible abuse that I went through at the same time. I wanted to be a...
You wanted to be what?
I wanted to be a good altar boy and a good Boy Scout and a good Cub Scout and all that. None of that worked out for me.
What's PTSD?
Post-traumatic stress disorder. I understand it's not a thing a man should go through. I get that.
And what does it feel like?
It feels like going through hell.
Yeah.
Yep, it does. Something snapped inside of me when I was trying to get some help for her, and I was in hell for a year, and I hit rock bottom. And that's when I really came to God, even though I had been saved for 20 years, over 20 years. And I was a deacon in the evangelical church for 18 of those years. What? And I feel like I never really knew God, just the way you're talking about. Everything you're saying is what the Holy Spirit was telling me before I found you on YouTube. And when I found you, I could not believe to myself for 30 seconds that you've been out there for 30 years. And then after 30 seconds, I thought to myself, I'm not going to be upset about that because God put Jesse in my lap right when I needed him. You know what I mean?
I understand. Let me ask, so what has it been like, what has it been for you being married to your mother for so long?
It's been hell.
Can you give me an example of what hell?
All the same hell that you're talking about. She turned me against my dad, and I now see that now because as I was going through this hell, right, sitting out in the garage going through all this misery, she's not bothered by that, right?
Yeah.
So in the process of that, I actually purchased a boat. As I'm coming out of the PTSD, I thought, screw it. Sorry to say that on the radio, but I bought a very expensive Mercedes, and I bought a boat, and I put it on the river in the same marina that my dad is at. And I went back to my dad, and I said, look, I love you. I'm sorry for everything I did. I forgive you for everything. I want you to walk in freedom My dad's 80 years old. I said, I'll carry you to your grave and I'll say something nice about you.
How old are you now? How old are you?
60.
Amazing.
60. Yeah.
Well, it's best to wake up than not to wake up at all.
Right. I'm not looking back at the past.
Yeah. So, George, let me ask, like, for all those years, 40 years, you've been feeding your mother. Has she been working or anything, or have you just been taking care of her?
We the two of us spent 11 years taking care of my grandmother after my grandpa died.
Wow.
We took care of her for 11 years, something like that, from 02 to 14. Yeah.
And where's your brother, the one brother you were taking care of? Where is he?
He is married with a wife.
Oh, okay. And so have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I have forgiven her on the inside, and it's come up in conversations, but the Holy Spirit has not told me to sit her down and have that conversation. But I have told her, look, you turned me against my dad. I've had some arguments with her. I looked at her in the car and I tried to get her to tell me that she loved me, and she could not do it, right? Now, my dad tells me he loves me nonstop. And I've had 3 hours, the shortest conversations I've had were 3 hours with my dad. And he tells me a completely different story than what my mom has told me all these years.
Yeah.
He told me he loved me from the minute I popped out. He told me he was excited when he found out she was pregnant. He wanted all his friends to be at the wedding. And my grandmother, her mom, tried to stop all his friends from being there. He was happy. He loved my mom all that time. He told me he just didn't know how to handle everything because his father died when he was 14. And he didn't have a good example of what it was to be a man.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a good example, so I let people take advantage of me. But that's all over with now, and I don't give a crap about the years that I wasted.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's right. If I only live 5 years, I'll have 5 good years.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, George, why you need to go and forgive. You got to face your mother so that God...
I will, but I got all kinds of decisions to make because she's got issues. She's got all kinds of anxiety, and I enabled that anxiety for the last 40 years. So, Jesse, I understand that she's ultimately responsible for herself, but I have to accept the fact that I was supposed to be a man of God for 23 years, and I just let her sit in her anxiety.
But, George, you could not have done anything about it. You're not responsible for that at all, not one iota.
Not at all. You can't swing the pendulum completely the other direction.
Because
that's what my family tries to do. They try to tell me that just let her go. You're not responsible for her. And I say, look, I can't do that, but I also can't take care of her in a codependent way. But I am partially responsible as a man of God for letting my mother sit and be subject to her demons for 20-some years.
But how could you? There was nothing you can do. A human being can't do.
Yes, I can give her a platform to do something. Even right now, I can tell her. I've told her this. Look, you're in my house on my good graces. I can put you in assisted living at any moment. The decision is yours, and she doesn't walk away. Now, I can toss her out at any moment, but I don't feel like the Holy Spirit is leading me to do that yet.
George, do you see that you resent her?
Yes, I do.
Well, how do you think? How do you think? How do you?
I don't still resent her.
I know, but hold on, George. His mother has been living with him for 40 years. And that he took away from her father, his father, he became a husband. And it's been hell. Can you imagine? Just think about that. You living with your mama for 40 years, you living with the devil. And it's pure hell. And mama getting life from it. She's fine. George said he said to his mother, "Tell me you love me." She wanted to say it. That would have been it for me. But I'm not George. Hey, George.
Hey, can I tell you what got me out of it?
What?
I did a lot of praying to God in a different way that I had never done before. Because I realized to myself that I spent 18 years in churches full of a bunch of beta males. I didn't use the word beta until I started listening to you. But so then I started shutting off all the thoughts in my head and everything everybody was telling me.
Yeah.
And I let God's Spirit speak to my spirit. And I woke up the next morning, and I woke up with a hierarchy in my head. I said, the Holy Spirit of God is in charge of everything, and my spirit answers to his spirit, and then my mind and body are to be kept into submission. So every thought that comes into my head is dragging me into my past or into my future, and it's defeating me.
Yes.
I'm going to stay in the present, and I'm going to overcome this. And I suddenly realized all of the stuff that you've been talking about. And then I have been in the process of separating my spirit from hers. I'm not her husband anymore.
All right.
But we're going to be separated, but it's going to happen in a good, godly, loving way. Not the way my uncle tells me, or my Christian brother, or my liberal dad, or you or anybody else. It's got to be Holy Spirit inspired. But I understand I have to do this now, right now. But I'm calling you because in the last month or so, you've been an important part of my life.
Well, stay with it, George. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Okay.
Stay present. And
All right.
would do what you want, but I would encourage you to go to her and forgive her for what she's done.
Yep.
And don't ask for forgiveness. Hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You made me your husband. You're a mess. I realize now you can't help yourself. And God will forgive you, and your eyes will open up even more so.
Yes, and I'm not even expecting anything in return from her.
Yeah.
Because
that's right.
She's battling stuff herself. So I have forgiven her for everything. Inside, I just haven't completely verbalized it to her yet.
And why not?
Because I'm waiting till that I feel like I've completely forgiven inside. Maybe I haven't done that 100%. You know what I mean?
Once you face her, you will completely forgive, and
I have not done.
And fear will disappear.
Yes, I still have some of that inside of me. I have not done that silent prayer enough yet.
Yeah.
I haven't, and I shouldn't even say it that way. I just haven't let God speak to me enough yet. You know what I mean?
Why are you doing the prayer every morning, every night?
Last night I told God, I completely give myself up to you. If you've got to destroy me in a car accident to make me serve you, you can have me any way you want me.
No, stop. Hey, Joy, don't talk to God like that. God's not into any of those things at all. When you speak,
sometimes people have to be broken in order to serve him. Maybe I still have too much pride left inside.
No, you don't have to be broken. You can see. Just start do the silent prayer every morning, every night, and you don't have to be begging God to do all those things. You are now starting to see, and all you need to do now is relax, let those thoughts pass, stay present, and life will just work for you. It's going to be amazing.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm going to do.
But I do highly recommend, do what you want, of course, but you got to face your mother, even if you do feel fear, and tell her that so you could be free of her. And you're going to love her with God's love, but you'll be free of her. Yep,
that's what I want. Yeah.
Well, you got to face her, George.
I will. I'll do it, Jesse, and then I'll call you back.
All right, buddy. And good hearing from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye now.
Bye.